accountable last night. Now, here's a big problem. BRICS confirms 159 participants will adopt new global payment system isolating the U.S. dollar. You, right now, are witnessing the de-dollarization of the world economy. And this is happening while 21 plus million people watch football games and have no idea what is going on. It is unfortunate, but we have so many zombies in America who would rather watch adult men throwing a football around, paying lots of money to do this, while their pensions are being robbed, their Social Security is being robbed, their dollar is being destroyed. And these are the people that are going to wake up one day and they're going to go, what happened? And they have absolutely no preparations. They have nothing put away. They are 100% dependent on the system, their 401k, their IRA, their pension, whatever. And it's going to be vaporized. And they're going to wonder what happened. And then they're going to get really mad. And they're going to want to know who did this to them. And they should look in the mirror, because you're going to have to blame yourself for what happened, because you were too busy going to football games. You were too busy ignoring what was happening in this country. You were too busy to worry about who's stealing your money. You're too busy to worry about what's going to happen to your kids' future. And people are going to get what they deserve, unfortunately. And this is really, really sad, because this all could have been prevented. But people, it's amazing how zombified they are when it comes to sports. The country is burning. They're stealing your money. And yet you'll pay whatever you have to pay to go to a Taylor Swift concert or a football game. Absolutely unbelievable, in my opinion.
Yep, he's absolutely right. But I want to say shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Chakodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, noise in his gospel bride, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, whatever it may be. This is a lesson through the Spirit. It says, at Professor M.G. MGTOW, which means men going their own way, basically is a movement against women, basically against women or moving away from women, going their own way. But basically he made some good points, and he mentioned while Americans are betting on football games, the world is moving away from the dollar. The U.S. faces its largest economic collapse since the fall of Rome, and we know that America and Rome is pretty much synonymous with one another. Okay, we know that America is the last revival of what they would consider the Roman Empire. Okay, now when you look up the BRICS nations here, BRICS nations, BRICS Summit 2024, and I believe that it was supposed to be in October. I think they're talking about succeeding from the dollar, which is going to bring abrupt hurt to this U.S. economy, because now nations are realizing that the dollar is nothing but debt. Okay, and they like, well, look, we're not getting ready to spend our they don't want to be indebted or to continue to buy the debt of a failing economy. Okay, especially when the U.S. dollar isn't being backed by anything. So this is going to be a fatal blow to the U.S. dollar and to this economy. And he made an excellent point. And also, brothers have spoken on it. I've spoken on it as well as myself, going into this whole Diddy thing. I mean, this whole Diddy ordeal was nothing but a distraction to keep you jakes, because peep this. This is not in the news, but peep this. Watch this. P. Diddy, right? P. Diddy News. Check this out. 1 day ago, 26 minutes ago, 33 minutes ago, 2 days ago, 15 hours ago, 2 hours ago, P. Diddy white party accuser claims she was forced to have sex with his guests. See, same shit they did in the Bill Cosby scandal, same thing they did with R. Kelly. You notice there's a trend of these jakes that's getting looped up in these particular rituals. All right, and while we're not saying Diddy is innocent or anything like that, because, he's a gatekeeper, but don't y'all find it weird that they're pushing this shit on y'all when you have stuff like this that's really going to be the detriment of you people's livelihoods? Because let's look it up. right? What happens if BRICS abandons the dollar, right? And it says, should BRICS, a nation, establish a new reserve currency? And this is what they're talking about. And this is why America is in race to establish a CBDC, which is going to possibly include a MOTB. But it says it will likely significantly impact the US dollar, potentially leading to a decline in demand, or what's known as a de-dollarization. In turn, this will have implications for the United States and global economy. So if they do that, then that's an automatic declaration of war, because America's going to go to war behind the dollar, regardless, you know. But like you said, people are focused on football games and bread and circuses and clubbing and all this other stuff, the careers. But sooner than later, you ain't going to have no career to go to, or you ain't going to have no football game to watch, because, you know, this is pretty much, it's a done deal. Now, let's look at this video here. It says Trump issues dire warning what happened to BRICS abandon the dollar. Let's see what it says here.
Clay County homeowners can now save thousands on the newest generation of energy-efficient windows.
Did you know that over 60% of global reserves are held in US dollars? But what if that changed overnight? Today, we're diving deep into a topic that could shake the very foundations of the global economy. Former President Donald Trump recently issued a dire warning about the potential consequences if the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, decide to...
And not only that, the Saudis are trying to implicate in that. All right. Turkey is going over to, I believe Turkey, I was reading something the other day. I believe Turkey will succeed from NATO, and they will become part of this federation as well. And on top of that, you got OPEC nations, and then you got the Saudis, which technically you can only trade petrol or oil in US dollars. So when that's a done deal, which the Saudis they've had it with America. So once the Saudis say, you know what, we're going to totally de-dollarize, we're going to totally succeed from the US dollar, it's a wrap. Then those little $2, $3 gas prices you've been getting, that shit is going to easily be $15 a gallon. Okay, see, the Most High is going to hit you people where it hurts at. You know, he's going to hit you right in your livelihoods, right in your pride, because the average pride, or the biggest thing in America, is their careers, their houses, their cars, you know, the bread and circuses. These people, the American dream is to own a house, a nice car, and have a good career. And Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is getting ready to hit you in all three, because once the economy collapses, famine comes in, then all hell is going to break loose, and then, you know, they're going to introduce that MOTB. And a lot of you people, out of desperation, you're going to get sucked right into accepting that MOTB because because for one thing, the Spirit of the Lord is not set upon you to deliver you from that. So while people are playing games, they're getting ready to go into this boo cuffing season and football season, everybody is focused on the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears and all these other teams. But that's nothing more but a distraction. Now, is it wrong to watch those things? No. You know, it's perfectly fine to catch a football game or go out and watch it when you understand what's going on with it. See, these people here, they don't understand how to differentiate between bread and circuses in the real world. So they're totally distracted while World War III, while the small hats are fighting the war on 5 fronts. Okay, motherfuckers dropping bombs in Lebanon. I mean, it's turning up in the Middle East like World War III. Okay, bombs are going off, soft weapons are being used. It's crazy, man. You know, but yet everybody is getting ready to tune to this game coming up Sunday, or Thursday night football, or Monday night football, just to get drunk and high, just to do it again in next week. But sooner than later, there ain't gonna be no
abandon the US dollar.
All right?
What would that mean for you, your wallet, and the entire world? Stick around as we unpack this complex issue. Chapter 1. Trump's dire warning. What did Trump say? Recently, Trump warned that if BRICS nations abandon the US dollar, it could lead to a significant economic crisis. He emphasized that the US could face severe repercussions, including inflation and a decline in global influence.
And that's exactly what will happen. Okay, and honestly speaking, it can't come quick enough. Okay, and this is why the other nations are trying to succeed from this place, because they're tired of it. They're like, look, we could do our own thing. We don't need to be held in bondage by a currency. Okay, you got what they call economic hitman. When Esau shows up on your border with the U.S. military, putting a gun in your face, telling you, look, man, if you don't accept this currency, then we're going to force it upon you anyway. And we're going to take you over militarily. But overall, people, they have military so they can fight back, you know? So anyway, let's get a couple of precepts real quick, then we'll go back to the video. So this is the book of Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at verses 32. It says, now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branches yet tender, he put forth leaves. So you know that summer is nigh. So Yahushua is giving us indicators at what to look for. Okay, Yahushua is showing us, okay, these are the things and the signs to look for once the end comes, all right? And we're seeing it through war. We're seeing it through global conflict. We're seeing it through the de-dollarization. We're seeing it with these political, geopolitical moves. We're seeing it with the economic ties. We're seeing it with the chaos, inflation, soon to be hyperinflation. We're witnessing all these things, all right? And it says here, so likewise, when you should see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors, okay? Meaning that the judgment, okay, the impending doom. Sooner than later, this dollar will collapse. And I'm hoping that it collapses any day now. All right, because honestly speaking, you people need to get hit right in your fucking pride. But it says, barely I say unto you, this generation should not pass till all these things be fulfilled. It reads, heaven and earth should pass away, but my word should not pass away. But that day hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so that's the point. As the flood came, they was scoffing, they was talking against Noah, and then the Most High finally decided to bring the flood. It says, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, bread and circuses, marrying and giving into marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. So, hey, it could appear to be a regular day, and then all of a sudden you wake up, you got a major stock market collapse, or you have a major collapse in the U.S. economy, which is going to drive people to oblivion. Because one thing about these Americans, they pride themselves off their money, their fortune, you know, and that's not going to, it's going to be a detriment to them in the coming time, in the coming days, you know. Let me see something here. Daniel 7. Okay. Yep, this is the book of Daniel 7. And I'm going to start at verses 6. And it says, in this I beheld, and lo, like a leopard which had upon his back 4 of his wings of a fowl. Now that leopard is talking about the Greeks. Those 4 wings is talking about Alexander's 4 generals. Okay, I think you had Lacedaemon. What is it? Not Lacedaemon. I think you had Lacedaemon, you had Cassander, Ptolemy, and Seleucid, if I'm not mistaken, which the Seleucid dynasty is who you got Antiochus Epiphanes out of. He come from the Seleucid dynasty. Okay, you had like the Ptolemies, which had province over Egypt. And this is why a lot of Jakes down in Egypt or Alexandria spoke the Greek language, okay? Because we understood that it was Alexander's goal and dream to pretty much Hellenize the entire world at that time under a Greek culture. This is why you have what they call the Septuagint, which Septuagint goes into the 70 of the books translated into the Greek, okay? But it says here, and the beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given into it. And after this, I saw night visions, and behold, a 4th beast. That's talking about the Roman Empire, this current empire we're in now. It says the 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. That's that military, man. Okay. It says that great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue of it with its feet, and was diverse from all beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, which goes into the NATO and EU. Okay. Now also you had you had the ancient Germanic tribes as well, you know, like the Lombards, the Sueves, who else? The Lombards, the Vandals, the Suevi. I can't recall. I get it written down, but that's That's a how can I say it? Because I remember the Lombards. I think you had the Sueves. You had I can't remember it all, but anyway, equivalent to the EU today, you know. But it says here, it stamped its residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that was before it, and it had 10 horns. All right, so that's talking about the Roman Empire, which is this current system that we're in. So let's go back to the video here, and let's play a little bit more, then we get a couple
He
more.
stated, if BRICS decide to move...
Yeah, and I got to study back up on that ancient history. I got it all written down, but I just can't. I can never seem to remember all those names by heart. Even though it's not here, and it's not neither here nor there, but still it's good information to know. But let's play a little bit of this video, get a couple more.
Away from the dollar, we're looking at a situation that could be catastrophic for our economy. The economic implications. Trump's warning is not just political rhetoric. It reflects genuine concerns about the stability of the U.S. economy. If BRICS nations were to shift to a new currency for trade, potentially a BRICS currency or even digital currencies, this could drastically reduce the demand for dollars. As a result, the dollar's value could plummet, leading to inflation and increased prices for everyday goods. Analyzing the risks, let's break down the risks involved. A significant drop in the dollar's value could lead to higher import costs. For example, if the dollar loses 20% of its value, imported goods could become significantly more expensive. This would not only affect consumer prices, but could also...
Yeah, and kind of going back on it, the Lombards, I think would be like around the Italy region today. Like you got the Ostrogoths, you got the burglars, you got the Burgundians, the burglars, okay, the Saxons, those names, okay, they kind of come back to me a little bit, but I just had to kind of recap that. But anyway, like you go into the Lombards, it says which they settled in Pannonia, which is modern day Hungary. So just had to put that out there, man, because like I said, that's some good history to understand and to know. Very vast, but going over it a couple of times, it'll start to stick the more you go over it. But anyway, let's go from here to the book of Isaiah 60, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, arise and shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord should arise upon thee, and his glory should be seen upon thee. Yeah, gross darkness, man. People are in gross darkness because, like I said, you have all this turmoil taking place in the world. World War III is literally started, okay? You have an economic collapse. You have chariots popping up all over the world. And yet people are literally blind to it, man. Okay? That's why these Babylonians, they're getting ready to catch it. They're getting ready to catch all types of hell because, the Lord has them literally in a blind spot. Now, let's go from here to the book of Jeremiah 49. I think it's 49 and 49, 13. Yep, 49 and 31. It says, arise and get you up into the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care. Yeah, it says they dwell without care. Okay, like I said, the only thing they care about is going to literally, it's possible that there can be a major port strike starting October 1st if certain demands ain't met. Okay, which can put, I think that's they said that's responsible for 50 to 60% of the supply chains in that region. So let's just say if they go on strike for 2 months, that could put a halt to goods. Things can go up, inflation can increase. Even though they have things in rotation and you have what they call back stock of reserves, like during the time of the pandemic. A lot of this stuff that they claim they didn't have or they had, they just they just rotated it, so to speak. It looked like you had a full shelf of this particular item, but you really didn't. They just moved things to the front. And then also they was circulating particular goods from certain stores. Like, let's just say if they had brown sugar at one Hy-Vee location, they may have had a quantity of 49 cases of brown sugar, and one store may have needed 15 cases. So what they would do, they would delegate them on the stores and they would ship some to other stores. Like when I worked in retail a long time ago, And in the restaurant industry, that's what we did when we were short on certain things. Especially if you got a franchise that's owned by a particular person, he may say, well, look, man, we may be down 5 boxes of hamburger buns, so therefore we gonna go to the other store which is owned by him, and we just gonna rotate stock. Okay, doesn't mean you have more, you just rotating. Okay, but it reads here, it says, arise and get you into the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care, says the Lord, which have neither bars nor gates, which dwell alone. And that's talking about over here in Babylon. And their camels should be a booty, which is spoil, and the multitude of their cattle was spoil. Yeah, because, you know, they euthanizing things, man. They're talking about this BIRDFLU, talking about the this MPOX, all this other stuff, man. Euthanizing cows. They've been burning down processing plants for the last 3 years, and sometimes 3 a day, you know. But it says, and I will scatter all winds them that are in the utmost corners, and I will bring the calamity from all sides thereof, says Yahweh. Okay, so Babylon the Great is getting ready to be judged on all levels, man. All right, and you people that steady playing games with the Lord's word, hey, there's gonna come a time that you're gonna have to answer for the wickedness that you've done. You know, like you other Israelite camps out there, I don't understand what the whole gripe is about this chip, why you're not pushing it. But push the RMOTB, man. I mean, they're talking about going over to a whole different currency. So common sense would tell you once the economy collapses, this is the route they're gonna go. It just makes sense, and they already got the technology that's set up for it, man. Okay, so I'm gonna end it, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified. Until the next lesson, Shalom.
Also lead to a decrease in the purchasing power of American households. Chapter 2. The potential new currency.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. There's a new electric lighter out there, and it's got the firepower.
What could a BRICS currency look like? There have been discussions among BRICS nations about creating a new currency, or even a digital currency to facilitate trade among themselves. This currency would aim to reduce reliance on the US dollar and provide a more stable alternative for international transactions. The impact on the dollar. If this new currency gains traction, it could lead to a devaluation of the dollar. With less demand for the dollar in international trade, the US could see its purchasing power diminish. This scenario raises concerns about inflation, as the cost of imported goods would rise, directly affecting consumers. The mechanics of a new currency. Creating a new currency is no small feat. It involves complex negotiations and agreements among member countries. Factors such as exchange rates, stability, and the backing of the currency, like gold or other assets, would all come into play. Moreover, a digital currency could streamline transactions, making it easier for BRICS nations to trade with each other without relying on the dollar. Chapter 3. The global response. How would other nations react? The potential abandonment of the US dollar by BRICS nations could trigger a domino effect. Other countries might follow suit, seeking alternatives to the dollar for their trade. This shift could lead to a fragmented global currency system, where multiple currencies vie for dominance. The role of the euro and yuan. As the dollar's influence wanes, other currencies like the euro and the Chinese yuan could gain prominence. Countries may start to conduct trade in these currencies, further diminishing the dollar's role as the world's primary reserve currency. The strategic moves by China. China has been particularly proactive in promoting the yuan for international trade. Initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative have encouraged countries to use the yuan in their transactions, further solidifying its position. The Chinese government has also been pushing for the yuan to be included in the International Monetary Fund's special drawing rights basket, which could enhance its status as a global reserve currency. Chapter 4. The consequences for everyday Americans. How would this affect you? You might be wondering, how does this affect my daily life? Well, if the dollar loses its status as the dominant currency, it could lead to higher prices for goods and services. Imagine paying more for your morning coffee or groceries. Nobody wants that. Economic instability. Moreover, economic instability could lead to job losses and reduced wages. As companies